with the NXT Women's Championship match.
Is this the main event?
This
is the main event?
how we're kicking things off tonight here on the CW.
What's up, Pro Wrestling World? It's your boy JB coming to you with WWE's NXT CW debut women's title match between Roxanne Perez and the beautiful madness, Giulia. Well, I'm not going to say I told you so about this match. I do want the respect for Roxanne that I hope that she drops the belt in a PLE because she wanted to stand and deliver. She at the biggest NXT PLE, she deserves to drop it at the last PLE of the year. I think I still hold to my initial take on a previous content video I did. Some kind of way that match is going to end between Roxanne Perez and Giulia in a no contest. And then Giulia ultimately will win at Halloween Havoc. But Roxanne, the transition of power between Roxanne and Giulia or Roxanne and Stephanie, it needs to be protected, creatively thought out, and respected. Roxanne's been a champion for almost 5 months, had a dominant reign, so it should end in a respectful fashion. As predicted, I said that Giulia was not going to win on the CW debuts show. And there's a lot of reasons that I'm going to explain a little later, but my prediction was that Roxanne was going to retain. I thought it was going to be more of a no contest DQ, but Shawn Michaels actually had Roxanne Perez do the pop rocks and pin the beautiful madness Giulia. Whew. She was protected. Giulia was protected in the match, okay? There was some interference that went on, and Roxanne took advantage of the distraction and retained. But overall, I like how the show opened. I like the fact that it was in Chicago. The crowd was amazing. The stage, the wrestling entrance area was beautiful. The NXT logo is nice. The theme music is nice. The new championship rebrands of both the men's and the women's championships at NXT were phenomenal. I'm happy they went back to the black and gold and got away from that. The rainbow colors, I like. Look, please don't cancel me. It's nothing against rainbows. It's just those rainbow colors didn't match those title belts. So let's get into the match. Giulia and Roxanne opened up the CW debut show. Is it me? Is it me, or does Giulia's entrances and her ring gear gets better and better by the week? It looks like it gets better and better. Her entrance was amazing. One thing I'm going to never get tired of is a Giulia entrance to the ring. She had like the scorpion mask on tonight. Her ring gear was really good. It was like a mix of burgundy and gold and purple. I thought Giulia had, Roxanne always has really good ring gear, but Giulia coming out first, her ring gear was amazing. And let me tell you something. The online criticism of Giulia, she's getting used to that hard cam. Giulia is slowly, week by week, finding that hard cam. And Giulia has an amazing face card. Giulia's face card never declines. The woman, look, guys, I'm not over-sexualizing her. There's just a genuine, natural, physical beauty of Giulia, man. It is just, this woman is different. And everything just feels so right with her. Like, she's so in tune with the world and what she has going on around it. Like, and this is why she shouldn't have won last night. And I'm going to get into that. But to talk about the match itself, I thought overall it was a damn good match. There's criticisms online about, oh, well, it wasn't a. Now, let me say this. It was a great TV match. It wasn't like a pay-per-view level match. It wasn't like a premium live event level match. But it was a damn good match, though. Okay? It started out a little slow. You could tell the girls were nervous, but they quickly snapped out of it about 4 or 5 minutes into the match. And you could tell that Giulia and Roxanne has been in the ring a lot together. A lot of grapple moves, a lot of counter submissions, a lot of roll up pins, a lot of counter strikes. There were a few botches that I noticed, but it wasn't like so glaring. Like there was one where I think Roxanne tried to do a leg whip to get Giulia to go through the ropes, and Giulia kind of had to throw herself through the ropes. I think Giulia missed her spot in one area. She was just like, well, let me just swing at Roxanne. And then there was like maybe 2 or 3 others, but it's not worth noting. But look, I think Giulia may have had some house show matches with Ren Sinclair, but she's only really had a one TV match, and that was with Chelsea Green a couple of weeks ago. So this is her second televised match is a women's title match against Roxanne Perez on CW debut network show. And for her to be thrown to the fire like that is phenomenal, man. She did really, really well. Now she's been training with Shinsuke. There was a picture with Giulia, Shinsuke, I think Mina Shirakawa and Kairi Sane. They were all training with Shinsuke Nakamura at his venue. But I love Giulia. And when I say that, I mean she is what all of us should strive to be. This woman uproots her life from another country, comes here, working hard to learn the language, working hard to learn the American way, working hard to incorporate or to adjust her style of wrestling into the biggest promotion in the world. Now, there was criticism about, well, Giulia's getting nerfed. Guys, you can't wrestle with the stiffness and stardom like you do in WWE. WWE has never had wrestling itself in the forefront. And if you watch the Vince McMahon documentary, he don't even like the term pro wrestling. The WWE is the biggest promotion in the world, but it's about entertainment more than wrestling. So Giulia has to be nerfed to a certain extent for her to get acclimated. She can't wrestle guys like she did in Stardom. She just can't do it. But what is the benefit that Giulia's going to get from coming to WWE? She's going to be an even larger name, an even larger star, a household name. She's going to maximize her name, image, and likeness to the 10th degree. It's benefits to coming to WWE. Whether you like the style of wrestling, the wrestling psychology or not, there's the benefits outweigh the bad. Giulia's going to be nerfed a little bit. She cannot wrestle like she did in Stardom. And Stephanie Valcor, who's mainly like a lucha libre style wrestler, she's not going to be able to wrestle like she did at CMLL. They're not going to be able to do it. Delta, who's coming from Australia, is going to have to adjust how she wrestles. Guys, the WWE is big, and I've said this in many videos, they're big on promotion, promos. They're big on storytelling. They're big on presentation, wrestling entrance. Wrestling itself is like a bonus. WWE thrives on everything around wrestling, the entertainment of wrestling, selling you a story, selling you a character. Wrestling is just a bonus, man. Now, AEW is different because wrestling is first. It's a wrestling first promotion, and other promotions around the world. WWE is not like that, and that's why Giulia and the Stephanie Valcours and the Deltas are gonna adjust. But them adjusting is going to benefit them so much more because they're going to be an even bigger name than what they were at the other promotions, which the promotions of Stardom and CMLL, where Stephanie Vaquera and Giulia come from. These are historic, great promotions, but we all know what WWE can do for you when the weight of the WWE machine gets behind you. You're a Stone Cold, you're a John Cena, you're a Rock, you're a Roman Reigns. So Julia's going to benefit from this. Yes, she's going to be nerfed from her Stardom wrestling, but she's only going to benefit from this run in WWE. She's only like 30, 31 years old. She can wrestle for the next 10 to 15 years and make a boatload of money. A boatload of money. She will set up her family for generations. This is generational wealth, guys. Generational wealth. So the match felt like a big fight, Phil. It was a great TV match. It was not a PLE type match. I think that's what Shawn Michaels wanted because you don't want to go out there and have a banger. Okay, you do want to have a damn good match because that's CW's debut match. But PLE worthy, you got to scale it back just a taste. Just a taste. So I thought they did just enough to give a really good TV match. Now they can probably take it a step higher. But I'm proud of Giulia. You may think look, when Giulia messes up, I'll tell you. She did have a couple of botches in the match where she missed a spot. She's still having some issues finding a hard cam here and there, but she's improving. What I like to see is, okay, I see Giulia making mistakes, improvement every week. Her English gets better every week. Her finding the hard cam gets better every week. Okay, she was thrown into a situation where she was really thrown to the fire because she has not had a lot of reps in WWE yet, as she was opening up a debut show. Okay, so I thought she did really well. So Roxanne got off a pop rocks. Giulia rolled out the ring, gathered herself. Roxanne threw her back in the ring. Giulia, I think she hit her with like a Northern Lights bomb outside the ring. Then Giulia started gaining steam in the match. And Roxanne, for whatever reason, she rolled out the ring. Oh, after the Northern Lights bomb, she got up. She was stumbling halfway across the ring, and she grabbed the new NXT Women's Championship. And then Giulia was about to get back into the ring, and then Cora Jade, who's been off of the TV since January, she came out there, planted Giulia with a Impaler DDT, a vicious DDT, threw Giulia back in the ring, and Roxanne hit her with the pop rocks. 1, 2, 3. I told y'all that Roxanne was gonna retain. I told y'all she was gonna retain. I would rather it have been a no contest. I would rather it have been if Cora Jade's gonna come out there, she distracts Giulia when she's trying to do her finisher. Roxanne does a roll up pin and win the match. I just didn't like Roxanne looking that strong. Well, Giulia did not win the match clean, but I didn't like Roxanne pinning her though. Even though Roxanne deserves to retain the belt, because I feel like Roxanne should drop it at a PLE. Don't misconstrue my words. I just would have rather seen a roll-up pin or no DQ. And I'm sure this pisses off a lot of Giulia fans and a lot of fans that have got behind Giulia because it's like, bro, but this is Roxanne Perez. She's on a 5-month second best run as NXT champion in NXT history. You got to respect and protect her. As Shawn Michaels showed his loyalty and respect for Roxanne Perez's great work, that was the greatest win of her career, defeating an international superstar, international phenom, the top free agent international signing in the entire world was getting Giulia. And you got, even though it's not clean, you got a 1, 2, 3 pin on Giulia. I still would have rather been like a roll up or no contest. But there's a lot of mad people, right? Because it was a lot of rumors on the dirt sheets and within the WWE that Giulia was going to have a Asuka like, but you got to hear the terminology. Asuka like run in NXT. Asuka like, not Asuka run. Asuka like run, not Asuka run. So Asuka like run means it's not going to exactly be like Asuka. Asuka had a undefeated over 500-day NXT championship reign. Never lost a match in NXT. Outside of Obafemi, I don't think you're ever going to see that again, or at least in this generation. You got to understand, guys, what Asuka did at NXT, it gets so overlooked and underwhelmed. That's only going to happen generationally. You are not going to see that for a while. And it was proven with Giulia. Everything is about timing. When Asuka came to NXT, and was it 2014, 2015? The time was perfect for her to do that because she put the weight of the NXT division on her shoulders and carried it through to the NXT that you see today. Well, Shayna Baszler and Kairi Sane kind of took over when Asuka left, but she helped get it to the next generation. And what Asuka did at that time, she was a phenom like Giulia. Don't make no mistake about it. When Asuka was the biggest international free agent signing of 2014. That's why William Regal is regarded for pulling her in. I think Kairi Sane was the next biggest one in 2017. But Asuka runs are generational, and it makes sense not to do it every 2 years. I mean, it hadn't been done since 2015, since 17, 18, but Giulia lost, man, and lost early in her career. Now, it was clean. They protected her, but I felt they should have protected her even further, and it just be some little weak roll-up hand. But for her to get a pop rocks off, even though Cora Jade distracted her, man, that's huge for Roxanne. Why do I think Shawn Michaels had Roxanne retain? Ladies and gentlemen, every once in a while you'll get the debut of Hulk Hogan defeating Ric Flair for the WCW Championship. Not every day you get Mercedes Moné defeating Willow Nightingale in her debut match in AEW for the TBS Championship. Those moments don't come by often. Now, Giulia is very deserving of coming to NXT and winning the belt off the bat. But, guys, even though it drives me crazy sometimes, long-term build develops character. Now, if Giulia would have won last night, it would have been like, hey, yay, Giulia won. Woohoo, woohoo, Giulia won. You want a generational pop. You want a generational pop. Let me say it again like Dr. Umar Johnson. You want a generational pop. Don't Umar say it like for you need a generational pop for Giulia. You're not gonna get a generational pop if she wins after being there a month. They don't even have merch for Giulia yet. They're not even doing Giulia chants. Giulia don't even have she has the Beautiful Madness, but she hasn't even developed like a WWE specific catchphrase. There's not even a character arc for Giulia yet. Y'all don't even really know Giulia yet. Let's be real, WWE fans. Y'all are tribalistic for the most part. Y'all probably just now looking at what Giulia did in her career in Japan, but y'all don't know Giulia like that. Get to know Giulia. Let's get some merch developed. Let's help her with some catchphrases. Like Giulia winning Tuesday night would have just been like, oh, Giulia won. No, we need a bigger moment. Why do you think Braun Breaker lost to Sami Zayn at Money in the Bank, but then he eventually won the belt at SummerSlam? And look how over Braun Breaker is right now. What Shawn Michaels is doing, guys, is he's generating heat, okay? Now, that Giulia lost. Imagine if Giulia would have won Tuesday night. Then what happens at Halloween Havoc? She retains, and then what? We all know Roxanne is getting ready to go, but Shawn Michaels is giving her a wonderful send-off to the main roster. Giulia losing, what does that do? Everybody's pissed. That's heat, okay? That's heat that's going to be on Roxanne and Cora Jade for cheating Giulia. That's more heat for Roxanne. That's more heat for Cora Jade. On the flip side, there's more support, more cheering, more chants, more positive heat for Giulia. And it's going to build and build and build to a bigger moment, to a bigger reaction at a premium live event that could be Halloween Havoc, where you're going to be screaming because you're going to be so pissed of how Giulia was done. Then when she actually wins the belt, you're going to be so freaking excited. That's what Shawn Michaels did, guys. You're not going to get that type of feeling if she would have won that belt 2 nights ago. I mean, last night. Today's Wednesday. So then Giulia wins the belt, then where's the struggle? Where's the grit? Where's the sacrifice? She just wins the belt? And then what? Then what? Tell me, because I want to know. Giulia wins the belt at the beginning of a month, then what? Y'all not even fully ingratiated with Giulia yet. Yeah, y'all cheering for her because she's new, but now you about to see her struggle a little bit. Now you about to see redemption. Now you about to see the fight back. Isn't that what a babyface does? The babyface gets screwed over. The babyface scratches. The babyface claws. The babyface overcomes all odds and get to the top. That's what the babyface does in wrestling. Giulia is coming in as a lovable babyface. Guys, it's not hard. Again, I do not like the way Roxanne won in the sense of doing a full finisher and pin on Giulia this early in her career. I don't like that. I wish it would have been a roll-up pin, you know. Distractor, Roxanne rolls her up, pins her. But I stand by what I say. Part of my prediction was true that Roxanne would retain. And then I think Giulia should definitely win later in the month at Halloween Havoc. But moving forward, there's a lot going on. I mean, Stephanie Vacour is coming in. It looks like Delta is going to be debuting at Halloween Havoc. So what is Cora Jade going to do? I will put Giulia in like a little 2-week feud with Cora Jade, kick her ass, let her know what's up. And then she fights and claws her way, wins the #1 contenders match, and then gets back at Roxanne at Halloween Havoc and finishes the job. But I feel like overall, Giulia did absolutely fantastic. It was what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting this. What JD from New York said, this, oh my God. No, you're not going to get a PLE match. If this is going to be like a 2 or 3 match feud, you don't want to throw all of your marbles out in one match. Come on, man. Let's go. Let's be smart about this. But guys, again, the reason why Giulia lost is to generate the support for more people to get behind her, to make it even more of a special moment. Because you got to know, Giulia's a superstar. You don't want her to win a championship and it's not even a loud pop. It's going to be a pop, but it's not going to be a loud pop. There's more heat generated towards Roxanne and Cora Jade. There's more support coming from the fans for Giulia. It's only going to build her up more. And when she wins that belt, it's going to be so much more sweeter. It's going to be so much more sweeter. That's why Braun Breaker didn't win the belt right off the bat for Sami Zayn. He lost the match, and then he struggled, clawed, got his way back in, and then he won it at one of WWE's biggest PLEs at SummerSlam. So that's why Giulia needs to win it at a PLE as their story develops and builds and gets stronger. The stronger and longer and better the story, the more support she gets from the fans, the more heat the heel gets, the more love the babyface gets, the more special the match is when they win it. Guys, this is Wrestling 101. This your boy JB providing my take on the Giulia versus Roxanne match. I'm looking forward to their match. I predict in NXT Halloween Havoc towards the end of the month. Like, comment, subscribe. Until then, see you next time. Signing off.